Hello, this is here and welcome to another video. Today we are doing another short story video. And yeah, you can probably see from the blurred background, I'm going to show you something. Yeah, this is the fourth one. The fourth and final one for the short stories. It's like behind the scenes kind of thing, quote unquote. Not really. It's just added details that confirm some things, and yeah. Basically, this one, I think you might like it. Like, yeah, it has something to do with the mysterious portal that Mr. A and RJ were trying to go to, if you know that part of the story. And Rose and Eli hijacked that portal and trapped them inside a prison world. And yeah, she knows a little bit that there's something that portal has to do with Stampy, but she doesn't know as much. It's like, she knows something, but she's also told Sam that not to go further into it. If he wants to say something, he'll say something. Stampy, I mean. Of course. It's not really a secret to Stampy's friends, of course, like Squishy or something like that, but for someone like Sam, like, you'll understand later when I read this part, but yeah. We'll see. The events of this short story occur after the events of the first book, before the events of the second book. Yeah. Sure? Secure. Yeah, I find creative titles to use. That's It was another beautiful day in the lovely world. The sky was a beautiful, crisp, clear blue, without a cloud in the sky. The sun was high up in the sky as Dumpy Cat walked out onto his balcony. It had been a few days since Sam had returned with his aunt, and the cat couldn't be sure how he felt about that. Sad? He did miss the boy, but he knew he would see him again. He just wasn't sure when. But before he could think about that anymore, he noticed William Beaver walking out of his cave, which was across from his balcony, inside of Harriet's hill. "Good morning, William," the cat greeted cheerfully, giving his friend a wave. The beaver managed a small smile and nodded at his friend, wearing a light blue helmet, a yellow chest plate, pink leggings, and white leather boots. I wonder what that symbolizes. You've definitely chosen a very colorful wardrobe today, haven't you? The beaver nodded, tilting his head slightly with curiosity. The beaver knew that they wouldn't be building today, but he had told his friend himself, but he still needed his friend to do a small favor for him. He didn't want to say what yet, especially if there were still traces of Mr. A's men running around. "Let me quickly get some breakfast and I'll meet you in the storage room. I'll explain more there," the cat replied. The beaver nodded and was understanding, and the cat couldn't bear telling him in such an open spot. It was a secret after all. He knew William enough to trust him, just in case something did go wrong. He hoped it wouldn't come to that. That was why he was being careful. It was a risk he was willing to take, to make sure nothing like what had happened months ago happened again. Cat walked back into his bedroom and went for the cake that sat on the table, taking each bite considerately before looking over at Barnaby. "Are you ready, boy?" The dog barked, excitedly wagging his tail as he stood up. The cat laughed as he went towards the chest, opening it as he rummaged through it, finding a secret compartment as he pulled out something, which got an excited bark from the dog. Oh, I wonder what it is. The cat held a red vest in his paws, something that brought back memories as he looked towards the dog. "I hope someday I can tell Sam about this secret life of mine," the cat said quietly as he put on the vest. The soft fabric rested against his fur gently. He missed it, but I don't want to risk anyone else knowing. The dog whined and nudged the cat's leg gently. The cat smiled. "Yeah, I have a feeling Rose does now, from what Sam has told me. He took a deep breath, looking back towards the balcony as he remembered Sam's aunt. She was certainly someone he could trust. Now, he had something he needed to do. He walked out of his bedroom, entering the storage room to find William waiting for him. The cat smiled at his friend as the beavers looked at him up and down. "Let's go," the cat replied. "I need to do something, and I need you to make sure nothing happens. Can you do that for me?" The beaver nodded again, determination clear on his face. "Thank you," the cat said. "All I want is to make sure no one follows me into the portal." William smiled with understanding as the cat gestured him to follow. They left the storage room and wound around, past the underground love garden as they exited past the doghouse, the cat going through another door until he came to a blank wall. He looked carefully until he found a wooden button that was camouflaged well against the woods surrounding it. The wooden area surrounding it. He had hidden it more after returning from that awful experience with the help of William and Polly, but now he had the chance to use it without risk of the boy finding out. Sneaking off was one thing for a night, but if he spent a few days where he was going, he wanted to make sure no one would know about it. Not even his allies. Only in emergencies. That was the only exception. The boy and his aunt seemed to respect that. He appreciated that. The hidden door opened into a fairly large room where a very familiar portal sat. The only other portal he knew would lead into a world he's fairly sure his enemies had attempted to go through. How else would they come after him and do everything in their power to try and eliminate him? Without a hero, his friends could be helpless. Lunderberg would have been lost. That didn't happen. He was glad that he had people who risked everything to save him when he was unable to stop those men. They had stopped them. They wouldn't get a chance to return this world. He was going to make sure of that. "You ready for this, Barnaby?" the cat asked the dog as William stood at attention by the entrance of the secret entrance. The cat knew he wouldn't let anyone come in or out without his consent. His world would be fine while he was away. Besides, he wouldn't be gone for very long. At least, he hoped he wouldn't. The cat whined, blah, 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 blah. The dog whined enthusiastically as he wagged his tail, bounding towards the portal before halting, looking back at his master. The cat knew what the doggy companion was trying to say without a translator, which was anything. "Hey, I guess there's nothing else to lose," the cat replied, jumping through the portal after he wished his friend well as he slipped through the colorful and bright portal, expecting what was to come next. I think you know. Sure enough, he felt a sensation of falling. As he opened his eyes and saw the ground below hurtling towards him. Somehow, he managed to land on his feet. As he looked around, the town seemed to look better than he had last seen it, and wondered him most certainly was where it was meant to be. He made it. The cat said more to himself, noting that there weren't many people out and about today, probably doing other things like experimenting and studying, but he knew where he needed to go. He had to talk to his friend, Wizard Keen. After all, he hadn't seen him in quite a long time. The cat walked through the town, not being able to help but admire everything around this place. It looked incredible, and it eased his unease slightly. No one had come through and ruined it. No one had followed him. He was safe, just as the boy had assured him, just like the boy's aunt had told him. Stampy was truly glad to know they were right, even if they didn't know the full picture. It didn't take long before the two of them arrived at Keen's house. The cat, alert as he eyed the area, hoping the henchmen were too busy doing other things and pestering them. But he couldn't be completely sure, since, after all, he'd been gone for a while. He didn't know what they had been up to. He arrived at the door and hesitated, unsure if he should knock or go inside. Finally, he decided to open the door and call out for the wizard. hoping to hear him somewhere around the house. "Stampy, is that you?" a voice said from another room. The cat relieved and happy to see a familiar face appeared around the corner. "Keen!" the cat replied happily as he walked over to him. "How have you been?" "I'm all right." The wizard amused. "How about you?" A lot has happened, to be fair." The cat said with a nervous chuckle. "But I wanted to make sure things were all right." "Everything is fine," Keen replied. "Would you like to tell me what you've been up to since we last ran into each other?" "I intend to," the cat replied, nodding his head. "But I recommend sitting down. It's a pretty long story." "I'm sure it is," Keen agreed, and he led them to a couple of seats. Cat sat down and went on, waiting until the wizard sat down and waited expectantly to begin. The cat took a deep breath as he began to tell his friend everything that had happened. From meeting Sam, to being rescued from a near kidnapping, from how a child had treated him, to his capture and near-death experience, he left nothing out, telling his friend about what he had felt the men were up to. When he was done, there was a long pause. It had been the first time that the cat had explained everything to someone else. It was hard, but he felt better because of it. Keen nodded his understanding. "At least those men were stopped, you especially, are okay." "Yeah," the cat said with a sigh. "Those men won't be able to get here. Whatever reason. That's what I've been told." "Good, because I don't want what happened last time to happen again." "What do you mean?" the cat asked in surprise. "Around the time of that incident of yours, I got a call from Priscilla. I think I might have spelled that wrong, but who will?" About the open portal that was tearing into the town. She felt as if there was a threatening vibe about it. "Probably one of the same," the cat replied thoughtfully. "I'm sure it was. She asked me to help close it, which we did, but I couldn't help but wonder if someone had aided us in doing so." Sam said his aunt had a similar feeling, the cat said. Even if she didn't know what was going on, she at least did something and trapped those men. "But for how long?" he asked. The cat shook his head. "I don't know. But I'm sure of one thing. I don't want them to find my portal and use it. I've already hidden it from sight, but if they found out, we'll take care of it, Stampy, I promise. All you need to do is stay safe," Keen said with understanding. "I can do that," the cat said in relief. "That being said, I need to get going. I don't want anyone getting suspicious." "Just be careful, Stampy. I mean it," Keen warned it, the cat said. "If anything goes wrong, I will let you know." "Thank you, Keen," the cat smiled sadly. "Care to lead me to the portal home for a temporary farewell?" "Your visit was reasonably short," Samantha shrugged as he rose to his feet. "But at least you know what you're doing." "Hopefully," the cat admitted as they walked out of the house, back to where he knew a portal home would await him, where William was standing, guarded in his only way out, where he could return home as if nothing had happened. This was a secret he promised to protect. He had no choice. He had to hide it in order to make sure no one would find it and try to ruin it. Worse, destroy or even change the meaning of wondering forever. That was something good that happened, and it was something he knew mattered enough to fight for. Had to be worth it. It was worth it. You're probably wondering why the men would want to go to Wonderburg. It's just an interesting question. Of course, in real life, Wizard Keen is actually another YouTuber, but we don't have to go into that. But it's still... like I mentioned, change. Like, get people to change their mind about something like Stampy. Like, because if they could spread a rumor there, his reputation would be tainted a little. Unless, of course, I don't know. I really don't. I guess we'll never know what those men were intending. But if they were intending to change something, they can make it so no one would ask any questions about YouTubers. Change everything. In fact, they could do whatever they want. Luckily, that didn't happen. How did they know? Research, probably something to do with Gerald finding something that hinted that there was some way connected to Steppy and all that stuff. Why they were watching him for months, because there's a lot about him. But yeah, the fact that we don't know is fine. Sometimes we don't know to answer those questions. Hopefully, we will get those answers. And until then, I will see you in book 2. Which, of course, I know what the first story is, and I can't show you because it's a spoiler. You'll find out in book 2, don't worry. You'll find out. And it's something that I did tell in this section, because I mentioned it before that there's someone that might appear in that book that might have something to do with it and why I waited before telling that story. You might remember, but if you don't, it has something to do with Sam and Liam's mother. And what she was up to. It is a sad story. Really is. But anyway, till we meet again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.